In the end, it took less than 30 years for the world as we know it to fall. 95% of the population died. There were a litany of causes, not that it mattered in the end. Our infrastructure failed, and with no electricity, our communications, lights, and internet failed too. There weren't even enough survivors left to tend the fields and care for the remaining livestock, as if any of us had any of the necessary skills. Those few of us who remained barricaded ourselves into makeshift fortresses, although they had no idea what we thought we were hiding from. To paraphrase that ass T.S. Eliot, not with a bang, but with a whimper, the world ended. Almost. In the late 2050s, the builders ended the crisis by combining biology, precision mechanics, and thermohydraulics to make constructs from the dead, human and otherwise. These automatons took up all the necessary repetitive tasks that keep us alive. The constructs follow algorithms and programmable, mindless cycles. The dead of all species have taken the place of slaves, and like those slaves, they have become the basis on which our recovery and our economy grow. They are everywhere. As humans, we have lost almost everything. But we do have what humanity has always had. We have hope.
Hello, this is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin. These wonderful people have agreed to come and play a game with me tonight. That makes me happy, and we're friggin' late, so let's get at this, shall we? The people are Robin, aka Thunderscape7. Please tell us all about your own self.
I'm Robin or Thunderscape7, most places on the internet. I hang out here on the Discord and I do art when I can and have time. Um, and sometimes I post at places, mostly on the Discord when I do actually get around to doing it. Here are my links. But
Thank
yeah,
you.
other than that, I hang around and sometimes I make thumbnails for the videos.
Yes, and that is an understatement. Sometimes, over half of all the art currently being used on this channel is done by or manipulated by you before it goes into production. So some is a bit of an understatement, but
Some is an approximation.
it is a very inaccurate approximation. But we will leave that at that for now. Harumph. Thank you for everything that you do for this channel. It's amazing. It literally would not look the same without you. Moving on. While you blush. Bison underscore Stonefist.
That's me. I'm here a lot. Uh,
That's
I
true.
s- on Tuesdays I run my Cyberpunk Red game, Carnage Heights. On Wednesdays I play Linus Longshadow, the Kender Echo Knights, and I may be joining on a semi-permanent basis on Stealing Stories for the Devil as the super Canadian secret special agent Pete Sakes, eh?
Yep. Who is
Uh,
maybe, and if you're a serious fan, like a serious fan of Dirty 20 Gaming, you may remember Pete from a certain Star Trek Adventures game.
he
Where
hasn't really changed.
it's
Even
Pete.
even his uniform, even his clothing's like the same color,
He's iconic. You could not change Pete. But thank you
except
for
maybe put a toque on him. But
maybe if it gets cold, at
yeah,
the
if it gets
north end of
cold,
the ship.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of the North, he also from the Great White North. There's your segue. Phil, tell us about your own self. I used that one already.
Uh,
Tell us what you're doing when you're not here. There.
I drink water. I'm
That's
sick.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's bad.
I like to be sick in my free time.
Okay.
It's a pastime of mine.
I'm sure your
Also,
boss appreciates you doing it on your spare time.
mhm.
Uh,
Also, side note, if you look to my right, you will see that Coast is. I wasn't here last week, so I wasn't able to update.
Yep.
However, it is now updated, and now Coast is figure is updated.
The post
two
mansion,
windows.
yeah, post mansion
Post-mansion.
art. That's what it is. That's like the date is pre M and post M. I'm hoping. Anyway, let's keep moving along.
And
Yes.
oh,
yes.
wait, I just want to say,
and you're an evil
Karis-
genius. Yes,
Yes, Karis would like to say I'm an evil genius, but I'm the nicest person you'll ever meet.
that's exactly what an evil genius would say.
Exactly.
Yes.
You're a liar.
Speaking of evil geniuses, and artists, the art tonight in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sixth window tonight is provided by our very own Wayward Knight. Tell us your things.
Well, first, I'm the reason we're late tonight. Hey.
Aw.
Yeah, I'm just gonna out myself right there.
You
Um,
chose to be late.
That's nasty.
Let's see. I'm Wayward Knight, aka Chris. I'm an artist and an actor, and I do a whole bunch of other stuff. You can find me on all my links right there. I sell my art online. Here's an update. But support your small and local artist friends.
Yes.
And you can find me here on Saturdays doing this, and you can find me here on Monday nights GMing our Buffy the Vampire Slayer TTRPG Grave New
Yeah.
World with a amazing cast of characters.
And that's just the cast.
And I also basically solely exist on the Discord. You can perceive
Oh.
me there. Come join our Discord and have fun with us. We're good people.
We perceive and appreciate you there, just like we perceive and appreciate anybody that comes to share with us. That sounded really corny and corporate, but it also happens to be freaking true. One of the most supportive places I have ever been on the internets, and I stand by that statement. Come join us, please. Oh, by the way, if you do, you get to play in these games. Yeah, you do. Anybody that wants to gets to eventually, as soon as we find a spot for you. Stay tuned. But first, some more technical stuff. The map you will sometimes see in the background, maybe even not even tonight, but it's there, so we're going to talk about it. Roll20 we use for our virtual tabletop. In place of that tonight, the art was, as I quickly mentioned, done by our very own Wayward, and that is Artemis in the Scrap. So this is now literally a picture of history in this game, because the scrap is now a flat gray mass. Covered in
Slightly
meters and
greenish.
meters, covered in meters and meters of pumice, and it's been Pompeii basically. So,
How much
Thank-
does it make if it's been Pompeii?
doesn't matter
What's
because
Pompeii Day like?
it wasn't worth its salt. That's as close as I could get. That's as and I just
That
realized.
works.
Yeah, okay. Let's just do this. Let's start. That's enough. Except for one thing. Hey, hello. You tuned in at the perfect time because this is a celebration moment. Twofold celebration moment. One is the YouTube video of last week's episode went up. Well, you're just giving me the one. Okay, I thought you were.
Oh no,
asking-
because you said two things. So
I know. I
first
thought
thing-
you were. I thought you were asking
Yeah.
to go to the bathroom though, so I wasn't
No.
sure. The first thing is the video from last week that we put up on YouTube. I lazied, and it only got up 2 days ago. It is at 117 views or some such crazy, outrageous number. So thank you. This time at the start for all the people that are going to watch this on YouTube. Well, thank you again at the end because I do. But thank you so much. That is. It's a really good feeling when you see a big number like that. So from on my behalf, and I think on the behalf of the performers in the game, thank you for every single one of those views. That's amazing. Second thing, tonight is session. Correct me if I'm wrong. Session 20.
Yes.
20. This is 20 episodes. So, no more needs to be
That's a
said
lot
about
of
that.
trauma.
At the end of tonight, we're going to be pushing 40 hours. So, let's get to the trauma. So, of course, we have to start with COS. Quick recap because you weren't actually here. You guys left the mansion in the Spider Orchid Mobile and puttered along for a while. Trauma time, yeah. Should have called this show 911 because it's all about the trauma. But Coas, in particular, you were in the back seat. And as you're driving along with Stefano on one side, you glanced around, as one does when you came out of the cloud of the ash. Suddenly you could sort of see the world again. It was all still covered in a fine gray bit of ash. The only color, real bright color, was the river at the bottom ahead of you. But you saw off in a side valley, you saw somehow carved into the landscape, like the white horse in Britain, or the big white chalk dude on the side of the hillside. Carved into the hill like that is an image of the citadel. All 3 stories with the onion dome on the top, all the windows and doors in place. And the one window that Thomas broke into is the only one that's filled in. The rest of them are just squares.
Last time we also described our changed fits. So
Yes,
maybe
yes.
we could do that too.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, tell us about, first of all, how you're just before you saw that, what do you look like now? We talked about your new art.
I'll talk about what I look like, and then I've got a bit of a request for you,
Yes.
Kev.
Oh, yes.
The new Coas, after the mansion, had finally gotten out of his worn clothes. They were very kind of before they were very functional, very ripped at the seams, practically.
Yep, yep.
And a lot of the time he had his mask up, either to acquire anonymity, or just because he preferred it up, and it kind of gave some layer of protection, whether that be social or physical. And now Coas is kind of sporting these newer and it's not the right word, but more regal clothing.
Yep.
More, it gives a more confident aura to him.
That's literally more royal in that it's got a lot of purple.
Yes,
Which
his
has
older clothing
always
had like
been,
hints of purple.
Yeah.
But this is a bit
There's
more expanded on that color theme.
And you got that sort of face going, like you're traveling through history so fast your hair's blowing back. Yeah, yeah.
And the mask has come off. He either for reasons, either he no longer feels the need to hide, or it's no longer part of the outfit. He has taken it off.
Perfect.
Yeah, he's got the hair slicked back.
So basically, what I did for you, I think you saw it, but just to summarize, the last week I basically had you see it and go, "Oh God, there's only one person in the world that could be who did that. It's got to be Thomas. I need to go." You tried to leave. Your sister told you weren't going alone. Stefano said he'd go with you. You said why? He said because I got him to see the machine that did that, and that's when you started to get an idea of the scale of how big this is. And then the 2 of you dropped out of the Spider Orchid Mobile, and it tootled off the road to its own misadventures bordering on end times. But we'll get back to that.
And yes, the request is actually, could we put my section a bit later on, because I've got an important life thing that just came up.
Oh hell, go. Yeah.
I didn't want to just hop on out.
No bother.
Yes,
no,
I'll let you guys go first, and I'll be right back.
Hit mute and go away. Yes.
Thank you.
We can do without you all night, to be fair.
No. Wait a second. You can't get rid of me that
strictly from a narrative point of view. Go.
Yeah,
go.
Narrative.
Go. Just don't turn off your camera.
How do I do this then?
Just mute yourself, and there you go. And cover it up. There. Perfect. Excellent. Goodbye. Okay. So, as if that never happened, put something over it.
I'm gonna find something, but
Put a sock
take
on
your
it.
time.
Can you
I'll
just-
say I'll
Sock
put
on
a
it.
sock on it?
Can you just bend it and point it at the table?
Yeah, I can actually. There you
Or
go.
there you go. Just do that. You moved everybody, but don't worry. That's my
Ah.
problem. That's my problem. Go away.
Just Delilah, that's okay.
Go do life. Fix this.
Sorry for the interruption, guys.
No, don't you dare. Why are you still here? Go. Jesus, some people are hard to help. You're muted too, Delilah.
Okay, I'm Coas now.
Oh,
The ghost of Coas comes to cover you up. How?
dereliction of
Oops,
duty.
wrong one. You're not the one that's haunted. I should have put Sid over there. Producers, this is a very good reason why you should name. Don't just put player 1, player 2, player 3 on your cameras, because I had to look around to figure out who the hell was who.
Also, I think my frame might be a bit off center. I
Yes.
don't know.
Yeah, mine's off center now too.
Yeah, they are. Okay.
A little bit.
Well, in that case, let's do. Give me a minute, and then I'll fix the cameras because I'm about to throw this on y'all. The car has come to a stop. The spring inside is all wound down because you to get pulled off. So it's going to have to be wound up by the pushing the foot pedals and all that good stuff. But that is probably going to have to wait because we left on a fairly tense moment. You all know what happened. Go.
I
I'm
think
going to
the
mute
last
myself
line
and fix
was-
the cameras.
The
think
last
the
line
last
was
line was-
indeed fuck.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
Artemis heard what Sid and Delilah said.
She was sitting up.
Verite made flower art that deeply upset Delilah.
Hence why she said fuck.
Yeah, that's why she said fuck.
Sid was told to lay back down, and he did. I'm like, Artemis,
Yeah.
you didn't listen.
I guess Delilah looks at Artemis and is just like, "Do you have something to say?"
She still has her basically like thumbs against her eyes and like is holding her head like this, because she's still dealing with that. And it takes her a minute to realize that she's being addressed, so she's not looking up. She just heard everything, and she kind of looks up a little bit and goes, "Should I?"
Up to you, I guess. Not like anyone's really. That's not fair, but it's not like anyone's really asked what's going on with me. Except Sid just now, maybe?
You did ask if you were okay.
That's not something I can easily answer.
But he said you could talk to him. And you can talk to me.
Delilah is going to. So what she wants to do is, she still has her tatty, ratty old lab coat and her ripped leather apron. She kind of wants to take the lab coat and make a makeshift, some kind of sun blocking apparatus or piece of cloth that Artemis can have to block the sun out, like a big floppy hat kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
So she does that and hands it to Artemis, and she's like, hopefully that helps.
Thanks. It'll help as much as it usually does.
And she'll sit next to Artemis, speaking softly, and say, "How often do you get these?"
depends. Do you mean ones like this or just in general?
Both?
Short answer, all the time. Long answer, it fluctuates. Side effect of the accident.
Right. I know Crow's talked to you about that.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked.
I know it's not a happy thing, but I hope you got some closure. Is that is that true? Or
I didn't really need the closure he was expecting I did.
Oh.
I knew. Well, not all of it. I didn't know all the details. I knew what happened, and I knew some of what Apollo was doing.
yeah, that's a lot. I can only imagine, and I'm so sorry. I don't know if there's anything I can offer other than an ear to listen if you want.
It's appreciated. I know I should have told Coas sooner. And I was surprised he didn't actually get that upset with me.
Sometimes getting upset just makes things worse.
Yeah, but it would have been justified.
Doesn't mean that he should have done it or that he needed to do it. You don't have to be justified or even if something is justified, it doesn't mean it's necessary. And it doesn't mean that you deserve it.
It feels like it sometimes. Not from him. He was distant and away a lot, but he never made it my problem what happened. And I've internalized a lot, and I know he did too. We're not the most healthy family, obviously. Obviously. Look at us.
Hadn't noticed. By the way, sorry for screaming at you.
To be fair, I did deserve that one. But also, that was not
Doesn't
planned.
mean I should have done it.
There were high emotions, and to be fair, that's not what I planned to do. I don't really know what I was planning on doing. But I was the one put behind the wheel, so
I guess things are different because we didn't lose anyone, but Listen, I appreciate you being open with me. And I guess that's a prelude to me saying I should be more open with you. And she wants to say something like, so you can ask me anything, but she just can't like get those words out yet.
Yep.
And she will look at Delilah and think a moment before trying to pick the question carefully. Not that she's necessarily afraid of saying anything wrong, but like wanting to like get things moving correctly.
And you know how raw everybody is, so yeah.
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 Well, and yeah, it's just none of us are okay. We've established that straight out the gate.
Yeah.
You've been dealing with a lot since before we left Florence, but I know everything following that has been tumultuous.
That's a generous way of putting it. Yeah.
I don't want to try and tell you what your feelings are.
If I'm honest, I could not tell you what my feelings are. I have never felt this way. And that makes me feel this way even more. And what this way is, I have no words for it.
Like you've gotten carved into and chunks of you were removed and they are irreplaceable, but also messy and horrifying, but still a part of you.
Delilah kind of like, she was kind of tense as she was sitting next to you. Now she kind of brings her knees up and like wraps her arms around them a little bit, and she just like looks out onto, all of the green and the surrounding area, and she just like, if you looked over to her, you would see like tear streaks forming. But she's not sobbing, she's not sniffling or anything. She just like, it's not anything that I was supposed to be or anything that I was trained for. And if I'm completely honest, kind of at a loss. It's
Out of
yeah.
out of the clear blue sky, it starts to rain.
And that's like the straw that breaks her. And she just like How quickly does it like really rain?
It spots on you because this is a movie, but on the world, it's fast enough that you can watch the gray get washed off. That last little skiff of ash just gets washed off. So before, the only real color in this valley was the river. This kind of just goes, and then it's all color. The greens are back of the leaves, the browns are back of the trunks of the trees, the grass, everything. It's only been under for a couple of days, and it wasn't very much, so it comes back absolutely crisp and clean. But for you, narratively timing speaking, it's just for now, it's just drops. It's not hiding this. You tell me when it does. Go.
Just gonna look up at the sky and just be like, "Yes."
Artemis is kind of gonna scoot back until she's sitting beside Delilah against the car, because I believe that's where Delilah was situated.
Delilah went over to Artemis. and
Went
sat
over
by
to
Artemis.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're sitting next to each other already.
Yeah.
Near Verite, I think.
Yeah.
Verity's on the ground beside the cart playing with the flowers when last seen.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
Sid, you're in the cart laying down in the back seat, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying not to think about the ribs he just pulled.
Yes, yeah, and the shoulder that used to go somewhere and doesn't anymore. Yeah,
Well, it got
gotcha.
popped
Delilah
back into
did
place.
reset
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
ribs, though.
Yes,
It was
We
the shoulder you
established that
relocated.
behind the
Yeah.
yeah,
scenes.
some,
But-
yeah,
He's just ow.
just laying there going, yeah, I got you. So, back to the other two. Go ahead.
Well, I've been assured on multiple accounts that these kinds of things aren't necessarily planned for. That doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't make any of this, what we discovered, what we know now, to be anything you were complicit in. But I know it's scary.
When you say, like, pieces of you have been carved out and flung everywhere, please tell me you've been there too.
I have.
I think that's when the rain gets heavier.
Okay.
And, like, I think there's a tree nearby that Delilah could easily get under, but she doesn't.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. This is like one of those little car park areas at the end of a big, ginormous bridge. So do the two of you sort of settle into a moment, or
We can.
no? Keep going. That's what
Yeah,
I'm asking.
no,
Is there more to do? Literally saying, is your scene done?
Delilah is left battling with herself as to whether she can tell anything else. So it's just
Right.
quiet.
So, okay. So, Delilah, you stay standing in the pouring rain with your thoughts and just sort of trail off?
She's sitting. She's
sitting. Sorry, sitting in the pouring rain. Yeah. Artemis, give us a response to that.
Don't get me wrong that what happened in Florence was bad, but I lost those pieces when Apollo died. And I've never been able to get them back. I've tried. But it's never felt the same. It's never been something I could fix. And I know that's not the answer you necessarily want to hear. And maybe it's different in this situation. But I have been. I still am in that situation. I don't think either Coas or I ever left that situation.
Delilah, we're not. This scene ain't done. Go.
Um, yeah, no, like as Artemis delivers the sort of part of the news that, you know, she has never left that situation, the tears start to like meld with the rain, and then as what Artemis says finishes, she is Delilah is fully unraveled and just breaks, and like hands fully around knees, head down on knees, sobbing.
Just
Artemis will hug her from like kind of the side.
yeah, just yeah, just pull him in, and that seems like a better spot because we're not going far. In the back seat of the car, Sid, you're laying there. You kind of hear all of that through coming through the pain, but then Verite gets in beside you. Like you're in the back seat, but it's wide enough for three people. So even laid down, you kind of feel it, but he just kind of gets in and squishes his butt between your feet and the
Yeah.
the wall.
Sid scooches. He moves his legs off the back bench so his feet are on the floor,
Okay, and
giving
then
Verite most of a seat.
and he starts pumping the little pedals on the floor. Gotta wind up the spring. Winding up the spring. I think we should call it a car kid. And he's just pumping away.
It hurts to laugh.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's all right.
Um,
Pain reminds you you're alive.
Speaking of alive, did you know I didn't know about what did he call them? Safety. And like seeing Verite at a loss, hopefully, is kind of shocking. And he starts that thing where you build it stronger than it has to be to keep it from breaking.
Redundancies.
Yeah, yeah, all that stuff,
Protections.
redundancies and overbuilding and all those words. You know, I didn't know about any of those until I met Stefano.
Sid smiles. It's like, Stefano speaks your language. I tried, but
Stefano speaks a language, but flowers speak too. And he looks over the edge of the cart. You can't see where he's looking because you're still sort of. I mean, you swung your feet down,
Yeah.
but you're still sort of curled up in the
Yeah.
pain in fetal mode, right?
Yeah.
And he looks over the side that he got in, so you're gonna have to move to see what he saw. But he looks outside and he says, "Yeah, flowers don't lie."
It takes him a sec. He, like, when I say it takes him a sec, it's like he moves an inch and then he thinks about how he's going to move next.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then he moves another little bit. So after about a couple of minutes, he's finally sitting up.
And that's when Verite sort of gets out of the way, sort of steps forward over the seat, across and back to allow you to scooch over and look over the side. There's a little patch. I think it's the first time you've seen it. You certainly, it's this little patch of white wildflowers on these little vines. They've been woven into a schematic of the car kid, but it's all broken. Like one wheel's off of it, and it's all bent to shit. And he kind of looks over your shoulder and says, "That's what would have happened if I didn't know about overbuilding." And he kind of plunks back down in his seat. Like he needed to say it, but then now that he said it, he's done.
Yeah. He's looking at it and Sid sort of smiles. He's like, I've spent most of my life trying to make things safe. Contingencies, redundant systems, blowbacks.
I thought I knew stuff. We would have died.
Something my dad always told me. Experience isn't something you get until just after you need it.
That's not very useful.
No, but it helps you learn.
I mean, as advice.
You just sort of sit there.
Sorry, that fell out.
He just sort of smiles. He's like, the English countryside would have done you no good, my friend. None at all.
Nope, I don't like hats.
My mom would have loved you. She loved flowers.
Does she know how orchids work? And he gets the tense wrong. He says, does she?
Yeah. I would imagine she's got a pretty good idea. I don't think anybody knows the specifics, not anymore. But she always did love the outside.
Can you help me build it stronger? And you're looking down, and I mean, nothing bent, nothing moved, nothing even creaked during what you guys just went through.
Mm-hmm.
It is overbuilt. In your professional opinion, it's already a 200% club.
Yeah. I can simplify a few things, but we'll see what we can do.
Okay,
We'll
but
teach each other.
But not now. You're broken first.
What did I tell you about making me laugh?
I wasn't trying to be funny.
Oh,
And
it's fine.
The whole time he's pumping away at these pedals, and you can hear the spring just slowly building it. You can all hear just sort of ding, 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 ding as the pedals, the spring inside tightens up.
There's a little bit of a pause, and Sid shifts, and he starts to slowly do it himself. Not slowly because it hurts.
Yeah.
But
he looks at you and looks around, like very pointedly looks around to make sure no one's looking. He's acting, and he's doing it really, really obviously. And then he looks back at you and he goes, and he reaches down underneath the edge of the bench seat, and you see him do something with his fingers, and all of a sudden it's way easier for him to push, and it's just ding, 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 and then he does something with his fingers and goes back to where he had it before. There's one on your side too. And it's like a stage whisper.
You really do think of everything, don't you? Sort of reaches down.
And there's a little wheel, like a trim wheel. Yeah, well, like the thing on the exercise bikes where you can make it harder or easier, but the old school ones where it's tension, right? So it's one of those. So yeah, you can back it off until the point where it's actually comfortable. Obviously, it doesn't get too much more. You're not putting as much energy into it.
It's like pedaling a bike in low gear.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
a lot of movement, nothing going on.
When you were spinning the wheels, Artemis, to get it back onto the bridge, you burned up all the battery, all the spring energy, combined with Sid's shoulder and part of his chest, to get you guys out of there. So, so he looks over and sees what you're doing, and you see him reach underneath and makes his even a little bit harder, and you can see he's now doing that thing where you kind of have to rock your hips. He's trying to make up for what you're not able to. He says, so what do you call it when you're excited and scared all at the same time? Because I was. It's hard to do math when you're that scared. What do you call that? When you're so scared you can't do math?
That's adrenaline.
Well, that's what does it.
Yeah.
And then the after part, where you get all kind of tingly. I didn't like that very much.
That's the thrill. And then the come down.
That's fear.
Yeah.
I felt really small when it was happening. And when Delilah grabbed me, it was like she was really big.
You were scared.
Scared isn't a big enough word.
Terrified.
I said it was hard to do math, but I did the math. Falling that far, there's no way. And he's kind of got both feet on one pedal now. He's kind of curling in memory.
Sid puts his hand on Verity's shoulder. It's all right to be scared. I was too.
How come I'm still scared? It's over. I didn't fall.
That's what fear does to you. Fear is a teacher. It's a really bad teacher. But the lessons are permanent.
Is this what it's like for you all the time?
He pauses, and Verite can see Sid looking at someone else for a second. And then his vision drifts back to him. He's like, more than you think.
Who are you talking to? And he looks where you looked. Looks back.
Someone I left behind. Couldn't save them. And now they follow me.
But you saved lots of people.
Wasn't enough.
You couldn't have saved them all. Don't be silly.
Those were my friends.
You saved other people too. By leading, by going straight, by making noise, by attracting attention, by getting all those people pointed in the right direction when we came out of the city.
Eventually, it didn't start off that way. I lost. When the Citadel collapsed, I couldn't save them.
Nobody starts off as a hero, Sid. And it's the first time he's ever used your name. Nobody's born that way. That's not how that works.
No, it's not. It doesn't make it any easier. It doesn't. And I honestly wish it did. But they're probably going to be following me for a while.
It wouldn't mean the same thing if you didn't do it in spite of the fear. How do they help?
How does what help?
Them? And he looks again over in the area that you were looking. He's just not leaving this.
I don't know if they do, Verite. I really don't. It's really hard to explain. They're not. Sometimes the memory overwhelms me. And the loss becomes too much. And we very nearly reunited today. And it's hard.
Oh, they're dead. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're dead.
How do they help if they're dead?
He thinks about it for a while, and then like the bitter smirk comes across his face. It's like, well, after me dad died, he went right back to work. And he just sort of
Yeah.
makes the robotic. Oh, they're dead. Yeah.
Yeah. You start saying that he pulls out. He's always got this pocket full of like his little tubes and his little Meccano, his Verite Meccano set, and he starts putting together the basics of again if you see of one of his little miniature automatons, like the very 1st
Mhm.
ones that you ever saw, and he puts together the like the 2 or 3 first pieces of the torso, and then he stops and he looks at you and he says, "Tell me what they look like."
And that's when Sid starts to cry.
And he just starts making 2 or 3 little sort of basic torsos, and as he finishes each one he just puts them like on the seat in front of you, so there's just like frame of person, frame of person, frame of person. When you're ready. who's
It takes
this
him as
who's this
when he
one?
does.
And he
Yeah,
points. Yeah.
and he's like, "Let me tell you about my mom."
And you can see his hands are just poised. You know that the very 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 famous painting, right? The fingers, right?
Yeah.
God and Adam. Yeah, I don't want to claim, but like it's that level of intensity in this moment,
Mhm.
right? That his fingers are hovering over this formless, shapeless frame of a body, waiting for you to tell him what to do, how to make your ghost real.
He starts to describe Lucy Grimlock, this wonderful person who taught children and, you know, played in the dirt and, you know, was one of those people that would always have something to humble a person, but in like a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was just tr- the way Sid describes her, it's almost like someone describing a goddess.
Yes. And the thing I noticed is you gave zero physical description, right?
Mhm.
Everything was experience, right? And I love that because while you're telling those stories, every little story, he changes. He changes the posture, he changes the set of the shoulders, he changes the way that they're standing. And somehow, at the end of the story, that's your mom. And he plunks her back on the back of the seat in front of you, and points at the one beside it and says, "Who's that one?" Takes it into his hands and looks at you, waiting.
I think that's a good segue because now he's starting to.
Okay, and yeah, he just starts to. You can tell him, all the ghosts. He's just
Mhm.
gonna make them and set them up there like a row of weird little voodoo dolls, but with the best of intentions. And we will cut away there. Back to Coas. Coas and Stefano, you just got out of the. We're now calling it the Carkid, uh, and headed up this valley. Couple steps along, Stefano says to you, "So, I kind of promised your sister I wouldn't let you die. So don't die, okay?"
Uh, Easier said than done.
Yeah,
I
I'm an unpaid intern. I wouldn't know how to save you from 4 mosquitoes and a stick. Don't
well,
die.
You guys
technically
got out of the car. You
we're
already
all in
succeeded.
unpaid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
fuck.
what was that, goes? Yeah.
Technically, we're all unpaid now, Stefano. So
That is true. What?
or
Yeah,
see it as you're paid in like food, I guess.
food. Oh, I was gonna call it work experience.
That also works. Yeah.
Because it looks better than unpaid intern. Um, You know the person that owns the
Yeah.
thing that did that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he at the time he didn't own the thing. I don't even. I still think you're a bit wrong, and that he's able to get his hands on a techno fan. Don't you need to be like? Don't you need to be an adult to pilot those things?
Have you seen how far away that is? I think you might not have noticed. And you look back down the valley again, the trees on the top of that hill are really small. It's not sort of here, it's way over there. That image of the citadel is about 200 meters high and about 500 meters long.
Oh,
That it closest counts yards for our American friends.
well, shit. Well, no, maybe he got someone. Maybe he befriended a techno fan. Could be possible. He's on the surface seems like a friendly kid. Deep down, he's also a friendly kid, but he's got
You,
just a minor bit of quirks to him.
you keep saying kid. How old
Yeah,
is
he's about 13.
he actually stumbles and looks back up. Okay. Would you say he's friendly?
Again, yeah, he's got like a friendly personality, but
Kind, considerate, respectful, unlikely to shoot people?
no to the first three. Unlikely to shoot people. Don't know.
Cool, you go first, okay?
He was
No,
gonna try
yeah,
to
of
steal
course, that's the
someone's
plan.
soul
He doesn't
before.
he doesn't know me. So
Yeah, that's all fine.
how did you know it's this kid in particular? I mean, anybody could have, well, I mean, not anybody. You know what I mean? How do you know it's him?
It's a message. It's a thing that only me and him were there for. It's kind of like an inside joke, but it's not a joke. It's just like an inside event, you know.
And he's looking at it and he starts paying attention. He goes, the blacked out window?
That's the one that he managed to get into.
Oh, shit. Oh, the messages that went around. Oh, security had a fit. You know, they never
this-
even figured out what he stole.
Yeah, no, he stole some staff. It was to deal with. Well, in his young mind, he thinks it's to deal with bringing back the dead, like actually bringing back, not just in the technology wise. And
Right.
yeah,
So
necrobiotic
he
wise.
thinks he's a necromancer, and you think we should go and see him.
He's a kid out on his own.
Oh, good. A
course.
teenage necromancer. We can trust that. Sure. Yeah, you go first. I said that already, right? And his voice
I'm
is
going
actually starting to
first.
crack, right?
Despite how capable he is, and despite how vastly intelligent this kid is, he's still just a kid at the end of the day.
Right. So
And
we're
I
going
can't
to
just leave him out here.
so we're going to rescue a guy that can do that.
I'm saying less rescue, more make sure he's on a good path. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. That makes I can breathe now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he needs a rescue.
How did you meet this kid?
It's one of the cases that I've worked on. He's
Did you catch
stole
him?
a bunch of shit. Yeah, I caught him. I think so. Yeah,
Is
I caught
Coase
him.
purposely lying about how he knows Thomas?
He's giving like half truths.
Yeah.
Got it. I was
Yeah.
just curious.
He's giving half truths.
Just character assassination. Oh, jeez.
So he keeps walking with you, and he keeps sort of looking around. You're I'm still trying to figure out why you trust him.
Because he doesn't he doesn't steal because he I can tell he doesn't really have a innate. Um, what is the word? You're good with words. You're intelligent, right?
No, I'm an engineer.
Shouldn't you be good with words if you're an engineer?
Numbers, math, physics.
Oh, but don't you guys name a lot of stuff? Like, oh, wrench socket 2 or something like that.
Wow, you've never done an honest day's work in your life, have you?
Um, well, I mean, uh, not really. No, I haven't done anything hands on. Well, I have gotten into a lot of fights, and I have gotten into. I have done a lot of paperwork. Oh, big deal for paperwork. So,
But you said you were a cop, right?
investigator.
Investigator, so like fancy cop.
Yeah, fancy cop. I'm good at casing a joint. Good at kind of looking for clues. Good at shooting things. Uh,
Warning taken. Warning taken. What? Why would you do that? I mean, like, be a cop, fancy cop.
some people do it for the power. Some people do it for the reputation it comes with. To be honest, I got it for more selfish reasons. Well, those are selfish reasons now I think about it. But I got it for more selfish reasons. It was just mainly so I could have better access to the city, and that way I can help investigate the death of my brother.
Wow.
Yeah, and it turns out I didn't. Uh, no.
No, we got all day, dude. Like, we're gonna be walking here for hours. Don't stop now.
Turns out I didn't need to really go down that path. Although honestly, it helped me learn a lot about myself. But turns out all the clues that I was missing, that I was looking for, Artemis already knew. Yeah.
Oh, see, you'd have learned that in the first year of engineering school.
Learn what?
Somebody's always got the answers. They give you the first thing, right? It's usually sort of static tension. Make the cube appear to float into space using only da 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 da. And you spend like a whole semester doing it, and it's brilliant and blah blah blah, and everybody tells you you're ever so smart. And you get to the end, and you get to the final day, and some other dude shows up and did it with a quarter of the stuff last night.
Yeah. That's kind of actually how I did my casework. I just did it all last minute, and it worked out. Um, and then, no, it's a similar thing in militia duty, where if you press enough people, someone's got to know something. But I never pressed Artemis because I never expected her to have the answers, and I know that kind of makes me a bad like investigator to kind of put my own personal feelings and kind of personal thoughts over objective fact. But
He actually steps in front of you, turns around, and stops. And unless you like change direction, you're gonna have to stop.
Uh.
He says, "You're trying to kick your ass for being a good human being."
well, no, I'm just
No,
saying that.
no,
Like,
no. Shh. You could probably beat me up, but I might punch you in a minute. What kind of human being walks up to? She's your sister, right?
yeah,
What kind of human being walks up to their sister and says, "Hey, what do you know about our brother's tragic death?"
especially
What
especially
kind
when
of?
she was. Yeah, I know.
How can you blame
that,
yourself for that?
I don't know.
Trying to give yourself shit for being a good person. You know the only mistake you made? You never should have been a cop.
It's true.
I don't know what the hell you should have been. Priest, maybe, with that level of guilt? And he kind of pushes you and steps away, and lets you start walking again.
I would have made a shitty priest.
Yeah.
To be honest, um, I don't know what else I could have been. I think about it.
Okay,
Um,
so detect for me now.
okay.
Why did he do that? And he points at this. That must have taken, even with the big technophant, that's days of work. Why did he do that? Just to get? He doesn't even know if you lived.
Well, okay. He clearly made the assumption, or at least knew that I was able to get out of that relatively unscathed,
Or he watched.
or he watched. But if he has the technophant, and he already escaped the city by the time we were still in the city,
Yeah, telescopic
He-
vision,
they have telescopic vision?
amongst other things.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the nice thing about unpaid interns is that nobody watches where you go on your lunch.
What more do you know about technophants? So they have telescopic visions. They can do
Yes.
shit like this with I'm assuming like a plasma beam, or
They got
is that the right term for that?
steam projectiles, plasma
projectiles,
cutters,
Plasma cutter.
high speed, steam pressure, anything
Still super
anything some psychopath could imagine for a way to cause something to come apart into tiny component pieces at a distance or close up.
Jesus. Why the hell did they need all that? Wait a second.
There's a
Yeah, why?
running gag amongst the engineers that department's where we put the psychos.
Why would you give psychos this amount of tools to kill people with? That's what I'm saying.
Because
what
the
I'm thinking.
technophants have to be cutting edge technology. You know why? You know why? This is the best part. This is the best part to their logic. And he's kind of half spun on you again. He says, it's because the other guys are doing it too.
Think in the other cities?
That's the story. Here's the part that doesn't make any sense. There aren't supposed to be any other fucking cities.
Now I'm thinking about it too. Look around you.
Yep.
Other than those boars we came across, I don't see shit. And looking at the signs here, I'm looking down, and I don't see any clear like battle struggles, any signs of anything combat related. And Ghost is just like, there's nothing out here to protect us from. So yeah, I think we came to this conclusion earlier, but this just proves it. It's technophants are mainly just to keep us in, or keep people that leave from coming back in.
It's bigger than that, dude. We're not the only people using this road. And you look and it kind of clicks. There's tracks, like they're distant, they're long ago tracks, probably before the ashfall. But this road is being used, and you're not that far from Florence.
It's being used by what?
People
Do I get to?
Yep.
I know we've kind of said that
Yep.
we've walked a bit, but
Yeah.
retroactively remembering the road here.
Yep.
Would I have noticed what it looks like? Like what seems to have been traversed? Was it like horse, or was it a cart, or was it?
Oh, good question. You asked exactly the right word. You see the hoof prints and the cart prints, like the cart being pulled and footprints of people beside them in the ashfall. You also see horse poop. So it's not a construct pulling the cart. It's a real ass horse.
Think about it. Back on the road, I've been too busy back then noticing this small ass image, but it seems like they used real horses and carts.
Yeah, the lies, eh? The lies, the lies, the lies.
Yeah.
I told you they don't watch us where we have our lunch. I had some of my lunches in the Technophant design office. Had a couple of my lunches in a place they call, because I had to. I mean, you see the sign on the door, you got to go in, right? The political affairs office.
Political affairs. If
Oh,
there's no
that.
other cities, why would they need political affairs?
Hey, yeah. There's 12 desks in that room.
Huh. Okay. Say, Stefano,
Yep.
I know you're hanging around like Delilah a lot and you're super intelligent. What what exactly are you kind of I guess the question is like what were you exactly? Because you seem like you're so much more than just an intern.
I was that bright kid. The one everybody says is going to be somebody.
Thing is, you already seem like you are so.
Oh, no, 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 no. You don't understand. I didn't want that. I want this.
The investigating or the
No,
just the
no, no,
personal
no, no.
connections.
No, 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 no. And he turns and stops again and looks at you and he says, I'm a sidekick.
Ah,
You guys,
see
that's too
now.
much pressure, man. That's like
I see
way too much pressure.
yeah. So you just wanna kind of I guess you could call it sightseeing. But you
No,
want
no,
to just
no,
be
no.
on the sideline?
I want to make stuff that you guys use. I want to help fix stuff that we find that's broken. What I really want to do is help you and Verite be able to connect so that we can get that incredible, magical fucking brain of his to fix stuff. Because I can fix it. I can make it even better than what it was. I'm pretty smart. But I'm not him, man.
That's great to know that you kind of want to be out of the limelight, and that's like you kind of want to step to the side because you always were looked up to be like the one to do great things,
Too much pressure, man.
but you still have a responsibility.
Oh, hell yes. I would argue Robin's 10 times more important than Batman. He's a miserable old prick who wanted to die all the time. It's only the sidekick that kept him in the game.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm trying to say here is that you keep saying sidekick. It's
Yeah.
looking to me like you're on equal footing here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sidekick usually implies that the the main person, the main hero, is the star of the show. You're still one of the stars if you're hanging with us.
You're not an engineer. Sidekick. B side. Same level.
Oh,
I
and
didn't
they
say I
call it
was an
sidekick then.
underling. Underlings, minions, those are down here. Don't you read comics?
No, but I always thought sidekick like when you think of it's always Batman and Robin. It's not
Yeah.
no one ever puts Robin first and then
Of
Batman.
course not. He's the sidekick. But you never see Batman and.
That's true. No, you sometimes you see like
Sometimes you see just Batman. I said Batman and.
or yeah, or Batman and Friends.
Yeah, who's one of the friends?
That's true. All right, you got me there.
We're just about there.
Yeah, just about.
A lot of people have been this way, and you can now see he's looking at the road ahead of you, and you can see now there's more cart tracks and other stuff coming from different directions, not just on the road, but they're all sort of converging at the base of this huge image. Like I said, it's 500 meters, 500 yards long, 520 yards long. This three-story image of the Citadel carved into this grass sidewall with
I
the
mean,
one blacked out window.
a huge calamity happens, and then next thing they know, they see a huge image here that they can't decipher because they weren't there for it, or maybe they might decipher it's the Citadel, but still, it would draw a lot of people. I mean, hell, it drew us. But then again,
Oh,
we knew the
wow.
meaning for it.
And he kind of looks up at it. He says, You ever get the impression you're looking at something that's going to be part of history? Like 500
Ah,
years from now, they're going to be going, they worship this.
nah, shit. That's all from a 13-year-old boy too.
Oh, imagine the mess they'll make of that. What do we do now? Like, he's not
Well,
sitting here.
yeah, no, he's not sitting here. I know where he's going. He's going to Venice. Don't know that, and that's where we're supposed to be going with the car. I just thought that maybe, I don't know. Clearly, he put this out here,
Yeah.
and so clearly he might be.
If it's
I'm gonna look
only
around.
for you and you knew where he was going, then there was no reason to do it. So it's got to be some other information here, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
It may be information,
mhm.
or maybe he left something behind.
Yeah, but it's got to be something only you could figure out, right? Otherwise, and he points to all the tire marks and footprints.
I mean, I do a lot of self-deprecating, but I am really good at finding things.
We'll
I am good
find
at
a
investigating.
way.
Let me look.
Make an investigation play for me.
All right.
We're playing a game. An
been a
hour
while.
and 20 minutes in.
And I think
Find a way. I'm gonna.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure, like, a bit into that, I kind of swapped Coas's accent.
that's
I think
okay.
he's now going to like a cowboy type
It's
accent.
okay.
So it's gear.
Stefano's opening up the further he gets away from people. I have it covered, chat. Stefano is incredibly socially awkward. So now that he's one-on-one, he can actually talk to somebody. So
Ah, curses.
yeah, Coas again.
uh,
He's
I
got
need a
2 nut bars that won't leave him alone.
6, 7, 8. Okay,
He just
I'll-
attracts crazy people.
Yeah.
I'll do. This is 2 successes, so this is a
Ooh.
5 and a 3.
3 for a total
one
of
of them
8, and one of them is the
spades.
correct suit. 2 successes.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect. So that the first one gives you the success. The second one gives you a little extra. What you see as you look around is that in the in that burned out window, there's because it is burned. No, chat said it was burned out. It isn't. It's been blacked out. Somebody's ripped up the. This is all done by ripping up turf, right? As you get close, you can see it was. There's no question it was done by a technophant. You can see big mechanical footprints that have been pushing something that dug this hole or dug this trench all the way around. But in that place where it's taken out all the earth in that window, Coas, you can see a little. Oh,
I'm
bye.
listening.
Okay.
No. I'm just letting my cat out.
There's molded out of dirt, like just molded into the dirt. Somebody's poured water on it and shaped it. A rod about that long, and it looks like it's just like a mud rod laying there, exactly the same size and shape as the one that that he didn't quite steal.
And he's gonna kneel down at the rod, and because I got an extra success here,
Yes,
could I tell that it's pointing somewhere with its kind of
it's you're thinking about that, and you kind of look at it, and you realize that underneath it there's a piece of parchment.
oh, I'll pick up the parchment.
You pull it out, and it says on it, "From the citadel, I ran to my home." And you look around, and this is what I was going to give you for your second success. Is this valley? It's got kind of the same layout as Florence.
Mm-hmm.
So this choice was not an accident. This isn't here just because it's a convenient hill. It's here because where you're standing now is where the citadel would be in this valley shape that you're now standing in. So when he says, "From the citadel I ran to my home," you could look at the valley and go, that's where his house would be. And that's it.
All right, Stefano, take a step back and tell me what you see about this valley. Does it strike you as anything familiar?
And he kind of he gets to the point where he's almost sweating, like he's working really hard, and finally he goes, "Oh shit, yeah, river valley, yeah, it looks a lot like, oh shit, that window's where."
Yeah, exactly.
Son of a bitch, you said this kid was bright. 13.
13.
And he found a
he's
valley
able
that
to.
matched.
Exactly. I know the streets like the back of my hand, so I have an excuse. But that kid's 13. Oh, then again, he probably knows the streets like the back of his hand too.
Son of a bitch! I told you you're still
That's true.
going first, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay. Okay. So where did he live?
He would live over here, and he
And
kind of
you,
walks over.
yeah. And it's, I mean, it was a fair distance across Florence. So let's say like the equivalent of 7 or 8 big city blocks.
Mhm.
And you have to get the direction right and the shape right and everything else. So you finally get to where the house would be. I almost called it Tommaso's house, and it isn't. It's Artemis's patrons who are now dead's house. But you know what I mean. That place. Um, it's weird because it's kind of a little clearing in the forest, and then right in the middle of the clearing, there's a rock that's embedded in the dirt, covered in mud.
Oh. How big is the rock?
Probably
About that big.
the size. No, it's bigger. It's bigger than that actually. I was gonna say, sort of the size of a single bed. It's big. Like
Hey, I'm gonna need your help for this. We're gonna have to maybe overturn a rock. Because
And
this is where he lived. Looking around the rock, there isn't an obvious sign that this was kind of placed here or
the
lifted by any sense.
the
Like
the,
maybe
on,
it's just like off an inch and you
the
can see
only
like
mud is
dirt.
on the rock.
Okay.
There's no other mud. This is like a clean. There's, I mean, a little bit of ash everywhere, but this, as you get closer, the mud looks like it's been intentionally covered in mud. And there's a
Alright.
tiny piece of parchment sticking out of the mud. And Stefano says, I think he's toying with you.
I think he's making it too easy for other people. I mean, leaving parchment behind, that's kind of a rookie move.
And you
And he's
pull up,
gonna open it up.
you open it up, and it says, right at the top, it says, it's that cop. Run. And a little bit lower down,
Oh,
it
that's good.
says, 4 times as far as you have come in the same direction as you just did. If you don't know my name, don't arrive, because I'd hate today to be your last.
Well,
And
sounds
Stefano
like
looks
that.
like it. He says, that's an efficient way to keep. Yeah, if I
Yeah,
found
no.
that and I didn't know the name, I'd put it back.
Yeah, no, that's a full veiled threat right there.
That's not even veiled. That's like a naked threat from somebody who did this. And he points around at this gigantic creation that he's made with the technofant, right?
All right then.
It's
Like I
not
said,
gonna
I'm
matter
going
if you go
first.
first. Holy shit. Okay.
Well,
You go-
think about it this way: if he has telescopic vision, you'd be dead before you even see him.
Oh, if he's got telescopic vision, he probably knows we're here. That did not help. Let's go.
Nah, it's okay. I'll bring your back. I'll bring back your body if you die.
Yeah, as long
Zoink,
as
Scoob.
and he
Hey,
said he's
you
as
said
you said that, yeah. He says, okay. And he actually calms down. He says, as long as you get back, Artemis
exactly.
won't kill me.
Exactly. So it said nothing about you getting back alive. I'm just saying.
Win for me. Let's go.
Let's go.
And we're gonna skip because it's just a walk from here, right?
Yeah.
You do 4 times the distance in the same direction, and you get to this little, fairly steep little valley, and it's just this little rivulet of water running down the middle of it, little stream, and it's just this untouched-looking little area. Do you have? Give me another investigation check.
Ooh.
At some point, Stefan was like, "Do you hear tires squealing?"
That's just my brain melting.
Is that the smell of burnt rubber?
Would I know before I play the success needed?
No, we're just playing for a number of successes with your investigation skill.
Okay.
You have had 5 minutes, so you could do the drop 1 card and redraw.
No, I think I'll still do
Okay.
this like this. Do I go for the 2 or just the 1?
You only need 1.
Oh, look
Huh?
at that! I
Oh, look
chose
at that. The
one.
minimum possible number of successes with the
Minimum
smallest
possible
possible
number.
card. Excellent.
Yes.
Yes. You see there's a like rocky outcropping sticking through the banks of both sides of this little stream bed, and one of them is slightly different color than all the others, but it is the same color as the rocks of the citadel were. It looks like those rocks were taken from somewhere near this valley, but not quite. So there's one rock that is slightly the wrong color.
Damn. Hey, Robin, you see that?
You hear, and then he comes up beside you and he looks at you out of the corner of his eye and says, "He swooped up, preparing to answer." And then
Don't talk in third person, please.
no, okay.
No.
See,
Yeah,
that's
first
why
person's
that's
great.
why I'm the
Third
sidekick.
person.
I don't know.
Exactly. Hey, I mean that's comedic relief right there.
Yeah, you know what the best part about being the hero side of this is?
What?
You get to go touch that rock.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's see what happens. And
And
I'll go up
as you
and
start to move away from behind you, you hear dun 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 dun. It's Stefano giving you sound effects.
Jeez.
Sneaking. I'm sneaking.
What is my life?
Sneak.
As you get up to this rock clump that's different than the other rocks, it's got seams when you get real close, like straight line seams.
Cut it out. Strange. Does it look like okay? It's got seams.
It's not real rock.
Oh,
You without going bang bang bang, even just like scratching it or getting close, it's sheets of metal painted to look like rock. And as you figure that out, you're and the door basically stands up like a transformer out of this cluster of rocks that was blocking the cave entrance. Just and there's this 30-foot tall steam-powered Hulk painted to look like rocks when it folds up, standing in front of you. And from inside, you hear a 13-year-old voice go, "Ta-da!"
is there any like viewing window inside?
You can see, as he says that, there's a little tiny slot like a tank window, and you can see a bigger door that's part of sort of flops open, and you can see Thomas from about here up.
Thomas.
The whole thing goes.
Wow.
You have
I'm
no
impressed.
idea how easy these things are to steal.
I bet. Let me guess. You waited till one was sleeping, then took it.
The first one, yeah. But you know you don't learn if you just do the same thing over and over. We should go inside before somebody sees me. Just because he's a 13-year-old boy. Just go between my legs real quick and inside.
Oh, hold up a second. I thought you were going to Venice. How come you're stopping here?
I think once you see inside, you'll see why I'm not going anywhere.
All right. Don't shoot
Who's
this guy,
the-
please. He's a great person.
Hi, a great person. I'll bet you have a name, but he's really shitty at introductions. What are you called?
Yeah, I am.
He started, right? Like it's got to be like coming home to your. Oh, weird. Oh, he's kind of like the brother that. Oh no, never mind. Don't finish the sentence. Ah, that's creepy. What am I doing? But yeah, he knows you pretty well, and Stefano goes, "Hi, I'm Stefano. That's amazing." And you can see Stefano's like he's doing physics and math in his head, right? He's trying to figure out how this thing works. And he looks down at Stefano. He says, "Oh, you like this? You should see the other ones."
All right, let's get inside first.
So
Let's go.
as you go underneath, he crouches quickly, like almost teabagged you. You go, but Stefano runs in behind you. The robot crunches back down and blocks the entrance of the cave. The little door in the front opens and Thomas steps out. He looks a little stringier, a little tougher, a little more around the eyes that says that he's seen some shit. But it's probably kind of hard to look at him. Stefano isn't. He's just staring into a huge underground bunker. It's full. It looks like a mech bay. You hear him 20, 23?
23?
And Thomas says, well, plus the one at the door, 24.
Jesus
I
Christ.
said they were easy to steal. And then they put a security on it. And it's a funny story. They put a security on one. So that's the one I stole, right? Because
Yeah. Of course you did.
that's that one over there. Piece of shit. But I changed the arms on it. And you can see most of them have been taken apart to some extent.
And he's going to look at him. And
all
it's
the
like,
weapon systems are not just taken off, they're stripped to individual components and all piled in one corner.
Okay, so so you stole one,
Yep.
and then it told you about this place, and then it's easy to access because the one has the security clearance to get inside, right? Is that how
No,
it works?
the first guy was just sleeping. He literally left it running.
Yo, so I was right.
I just got in and walked away.
Actually, he was taking a piss in the original.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Usually, when they think they're really safe, they leave stuff unguarded.
Yeah, and but then they knew, right? I mean, they razzed him. I mean, I sat like a couple miles away and watched. These telescopic guys, these things are cool. And he points at his own head and goes, "Oh yeah, right." You get the impression he doesn't spend much time outside any of his equipment. He says, but go in and have a seat. Go in and have a seat. It's not just these idiots. And he's pointing at the technofans. And Stefano takes a couple steps forward and looks down, and you hear him go, "Holy fuck! Is that?" And he says, Thomas walks up beside him and says, "David, yeah, statue of David. Easy. Picked him up with two hands. Walked over here. Bzz, 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 easy."
Motherfucker.
Coas, you step up and look. Remember his room when he stole all the stuff from the museum? Imagine that, but like 50 feet square. He's sort of 15 meters on a side. He's got David, like not the original that's in the city, but the smaller, a version of David. He's got Greek statues. He's got he's got a throne. Louis XIV, the Sun King's actual throne is where he sits in the living room. The fireplace is a chunk of a palace. He's gone grand scale on his thieving. And he looks at you as you step up and says, "Nobody had any of it when I took it. The only people I've stolen from was the people that used to own Technofans."
This is a gray area. And I proceed here.
You're the one that taught me about gray areas. Thank you for that. Sit on a throne. No, it's cool, man. I know it's just a chair, but it isn't. It's a throne, like there were kings' asses on it.
I'm not gonna sit on a throne, Thomas.
Artemis and Delilah's face. Oh my god.
So, Thomas.
Yep.
Stefano, you can go ahead and check these out all you want. Free reign. Thomas, so what are you gonna do with all this?
I'm not sure. That's why I got you to come here. What would you do if you had 24 Technofans at your beck and
Not the
call?
Technofans. Well, actually, yeah, the Technofans. But also the stuff down there. I'm thinking for the stuff down there, this is a great place to preserve it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm preserving it as he sits down in Louis XIV's throne. The crown that's hanging off one of the spindles at the top goes clankety clankety clankety.
Yeah, that was your idea, right? Was to get these and have them in your collection for now. But once things are starting to be rebuilt, you can bring them back and kind of present yourself as like the preserver of these things and give them back. Save history.
This is why I called you.
Exactly.
Because all I could think of was I wanted it, so I took it. and he kicks his feet up on like an ottoman, right, and throws his
From the
hands
Ottoman Empire.
from the Ottoman
Co-
Empire. Sure, an actual Ottoman. It's a
Coas
guy.
is
He's been taxidermied in that position. But it
Coas is
isn't. But I couldn't resist myself. Yeah.
trying to do the thing where it's like trying to give him the idea without actually like
Yep. What are
give
you
him the
trying to get
idea.
across? Yeah.
He's trying to get across that um
Oh yeah.
he didn't he's gonna say, well, I mean, I'm sure, yeah, you took it at the time because you just wanted to take it, but most likely deep down you wanted to preserve it, right?
Wait. Yeah. We can put it back after.
Yeah, once everything's rebuilt, we
Yeah.
put it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got to do the rebuilding first. And I got all of these, and I have no idea. You remember I'm 13, right?
Yeah, no, I remember that.
I don't know how to rebuild worlds.
You don't have to
I
do it alone.
steal shit.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm really good at it.
you are.
So what would you do if you had 24 of these?
I had 24 of these. Ah. I know there's some place that you can deliver them to help because, like you said, you're really good at taking stuff. You're not good at rebuilding stuff, right? Well, I know people that are good at rebuilding stuff.
That's why I need you. And all of a sudden, he's serious. I want to be more than just the best thief ever. I already did that. I'm 13.
Yeah. You have quite a gift there with that. One that
So-
I may or may not have endorsed, but it's still an amazing gift, and
You
it
did.
worked out. It worked out in our favor here.
So how do we do it the other way around? How do I give
Well-
instead of take? I mean, I can't just walk up to some place and say, "Here, have a giant machine."
No, you
They'll
can't.
just put the guns back on it and shoot each other.
No, you can't. You have to. Here, let me tackle the give instead of take argument
Okay.
here. See it as you're still, once you give something, you're see it as more like you're still giving, you're still taking something, but what you're taking is sadness away. You're like by giving stuff to other people, it's usually seen as a nice gesture, and people usually feel happy about nice gestures. And yeah,
I
Yeah,
can
that's it.
steal sad?
yeah, you can steal emotion, sadness. You can steal sadness and hurt and pain by
Like
helping.
Santa.
Yeah,
I put stuff in people's houses and they will be happy.
it doesn't automatically always equal happiness, but it's good steps towards happiness. You know, being better off usually tends to help. Because if you don't have to worry about some things, then you can focus about repairing other things. You know. God, I'm not good at this.
Stefano kind of pipes up. He's halfway down the line now. Like he's checked out all these, about 3/4 of them he's checked out. He's coming back on this. He's going all the way down this side and all the way up this side doing a quick survey. And you hear him yelling from down the other end. He says, why did you take all the weapons off? And he kind of looks down. He says, because I don't want to hurt anybody. I never hurt anybody. The whole point was stealing is that you take stuff without hurting people.
Exactly. Glad you stuck with that. Because it's true.
So now I know I'm going to steal sadness. How the hell do I do that with them?
Here's the lucky part, and that's what you brought me in for. There is. Do you have a map somewhere?
Yep. And he unrolls a large, like a topographic map of this whole section of Italy.
You see, here this spot right here. That's like right off the city limits.
Yeah.
There's a mansion there. There's a bunch of people there that are just gotten out of the city, and they're surviving. But I think with these techno fans, especially if I see like some of them have like claws, and some of them have like what are those drills? I don't
Yeah,
know. Stefano, you're the engineer.
I made miners and I made farmers and I couldn't think of much else, so I just made lots of those. Oh, and they can all carry stuff.
Those can really help out to
Oh,
help with the rebuilding.
and as long as somebody's in this one, and he points to one of them, he says, the other ones will follow it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, I say like, so I think the world's ready to move on from the constructs.
Yeah, these
And
aren't really like the only people in these are alive.
And I think you, Thomas, are going to help the world move on.
Me.
Yeah, you.
Okay. How?
The first, and I think really only step you have to do right now is just bring these over to this mansion.
Okay, how does that help? Is there somebody there that can tell me what to do? I'm 13.
There's a lady there. And, you'll know her when you see her. Well, you won't know her when you see her, but she has a very strong presence. Yeah, I guess you might want her name. That might be useful.
You
Fatima
are
is the
so
name.
shit with names. What?
Yeah.
What was it?
Fatima.
Fatima. Okay.
Fatima.
All right.
She'll know what to do with these mechs.
And she's not gonna freak out when I walk in there with.
Oh, she'll freak out.
Okay.
It'll be kind of funny. It's gonna be really funny, actually.
Should I tell her you sent me?
Okay, wait. Okay. What you should do is kind of like surround the mansion with the mechs, right? And then just look menacingly, and then tell her like, "Yeah, I sent you." And then like, it would be funny. It'll be funny.
You're a
I'm not.
dick.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah,
But,
funny, but yeah. Don't hit me. You're big. Okay, so I'll go help her, and then I'll just do what she tells me. How come you made that so easy? Every other time I come to you with a problem, you just make it all complicated and shit. This time, bam, answer.
How to make it so easy? I don't know. I guess maybe because I didn't really think about it. I just kind of said it.
I think it's because you grew up. And he kicks his feet down off the ottoman and stands up. He says, "So where's this mansion again?"
It's over here. Well, I mean, it's only been a couple days since you last saw me. I don't think I grew up too much.
I don't know. You look old.
Yeah. Don't let yourself get to my age. Wait, no. Let yourself get to my age. Shit. No.
What is wrong with you? I haven't seen you in 3 days, and you.
No. I'm not saying to like. I'm saying don't look like my age when you get to my age.
He reaches out and puts his hand on your shoulder and starts to giggle. And like he sounds like a boy. His voice cracks and he's just giggling. He says, "You are so much fun." He says, "And you don't hit me. I'm a little shit. And you don't hit me."
Well, of course I don't hear you. You're just a kid.
"Yeah, but I'm a shit." And
And
he kind of squeezes your hand. And
that's not how you deal with little shits.
"But I stole your stuff.
Yeah, and I'm trying my
And
best
I
to tell you
solved
that.
your crime."
Yeah, that's great. That's wonderful.
It's him that broke into your office.
Oh. Oh, really?
Remember the story? Yeah,
Yeah.
the crime that got stolen and solved, and then the second one got stolen. He just
Oh.
told you that's him. I've been watching you since I was like 11.
Hmm. Really, that was you. Oh, shit.
You know why?
How come?
Because you're a dick too. But people like you.
Eh.
Well, I mean,
Hmm.
not your sister. The things she said about you when she was making some of those sculptures. Wow. But, you know, like people.
Yeah, that's. I'm still iffy on that.
They like you more than they like me.
Oh, kid, you're great. Relax. But yeah, after you bring on those, you should be able to help rebuild Florence.
There's got to be like meters and meters of ash, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I mean, that's why these are good. You'll be able to stomp through them, right?
And Stefano gets back to you guys at this point, and he looks, he says, 24 of them, all in a row, literally kicking ash.
Kicking ass. It's a good slogan.
Yeah, they're going to tell stories about you, kid. And he reaches over and fist bumps Thomas.
Kid.
Thomas,
Thomas.
thank you.
Sorry. You. I may be a dick.
A little bit.
You may be a little shit.
Yep.
But it's the other stuff that we do that kind of evens it out. And this is going to be one of the stuff that you do that basically helps even it out. Being a little shit.
What's it like doing stuff you can brag about? You
What do you
can't brag
mean?
about stealing shit. Doesn't matter
Dude,
what I
that's how
steal,
you
even when I
tell.
steal Greek statues.
I mean, the point's not to brag. Though.
I can't tell
That's the
any,
thing.
but,
Uh,
but I want to brag a little bit so people like me.
but they won't. People won't like you just because you brag about it, or just because you tell about what you've done.
This is what I don't get. I don't know how to make people like me.
Simple. You
Simple. Fuck off.
well, I haven't figured it out yet, but I mean I haven't done it myself yet. But from what I've seen in other people, it's more about less caring about if they like you and just being a good person. The
So
less you
just
care about people liking you, the more they like you, I find. Well, actually, no, I've seen some shitty people that don't care about other people. So no,
as
wait,
you
no.
as you wander off, you see his eyes are completely glazed over. He said, "I could be a kindness ranger."
Stealing sadness. Still get to steal shit.
They'll remember that.
They will remember that.
Side note: Kevin is covered in goosebumps right now. They just like that. And with that, he jumps up and he said, "Thank you," and he just hammer hugs you, just like you are hugged, whether there's any acceptance on your part of it at all.
I'll give him like a pat on the head.
Stefano
Well,
Here.
comes over and grabs your wrist, and puts it around his shoulder, and grabs your other wrist and puts it around his shoulder. A hug, dude. A friggin' hug.
Right. Yeah. Um, yeah. I hope the others haven't gone too far. I mean, I guess we could catch up to them with a techno fan, right? Or do you have like a locomotion machine? Locomotion machine. What am
I built I got bored and I took some pieces and parts apart and I built that. And he points over at the corner and there's basically a large mechanized, like rhino-sized dog that he's built out of the spare parts of all the technofans.
Hey, Stefano, we might be able to. I don't know if I don't know how fast that
I-
goes, but we might be able to catch up with them.
I scared a whole bunch of bandits with that so bad that they actually fell in the river.
And yes, he does know about Florence because
Yeah.
I mentioned it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can catch up with them. They should be pretty far by now though, because it's been a couple. It's been a bit.
Well, that thing's
Actually.
quick. Just hold on.
All right.
And it's basically like saddles. It's a row of saddles
Do you
down the back.
Well, do you want me to come with you?
Like a lake
Imagine-
banana. Just
No, as long as there's somebody there. Yeah, exactly. Like banana. Yeah. As long
No,
as there's
there's-
somebody there. Fatima, right? You sure it's
Yeah,
not
Fatima.
Fatima?
Yeah, either or.
How about I just tell her that you sent me?
Yeah.
Okay.
for it.
Well, yeah. I don't know where they went, but yeah, take the dog.
Yeah.
Um,
Wonderful. And
it
you get
was-
to keep all this art. I mean,
Oh
can keep
yeah,
that
I
for a
wasn't
while. Yeah.
giving that back. I didn't take it from anybody.
exactly.
Thank you.
Nah, it's nothing. I'm honestly I was just worried about you, kid. Not, I knew you could handle yourself. I'm just, to be honest, I'm not too sure why I was
Both
worried.
of those things that you just said are why I thanked you.
exactly.
You believed in me.
Well, yeah. I
You
see what
made me
can
the
do.
best thief there's ever been.
Hmm.
And now you're going to make me the best unthief? Why isn't there a word?
Stefano, you're good with words, right?
No,
You can make-
numbers. I'm an engineer.
You can make up a word for this, right?
For what? And he kind of comes stumbling back.
An unthief.
Giver?
It doesn't work, man. Come on. Jesus, Stefano.
I'm an engineer. What do you want?
You're supposed to be good with names. I mean, you built the
Names.
soccer bench.
I didn't build the socket wrench. My name isn't Socket.
Sorry, the soccer bench too. My bad.
My name also isn't Socket the Second.
Whatever. Let's go. Thomas.
You know what
You
you
can think
should
of a
call
name.
him? You should call him Thomas.
Yeah, I did.
If you're gonna be famous, and he looks over at Thomas, he says, if you're gonna be famous, use your own damn name. What is it with people making these ridiculous, like you blame yourself for being human, and this guy wants to be famous, but he doesn't want anybody to know his name. What is wrong with you people? Your name is Thomas. You will be Thomas, the guy who brings stuff. They will make up a word. They will probably call it Thomasing.
Thomasing. That kind of has a good ring to it, actually. I like that. Thomasing.
Thomas goes, that feels like big shoes. And Stefan just looks at the technofans. He says, it's okay, you got big feet. Coas,
Oh,
take
and-
us out. Take us out with a closing. Yeah. I'll
One
respond
last
if I
thing,
have
Thomas.
to, but take us out. Yeah. Yep.
One last thing, Thomas. When you get there,
Yeah.
take a bath. And I mean it in a good way. I mean it in a. Oh, I sorry. I
Yeah.
should
No,
rephrase
we,
this.
we
Yeah,
dropped the
no,
curtain
no,
right
no,
after
no.
take a bath. Yeah.
He meant it more in a
No,
way of
No,
like.
that's perfect. You finally
I know
took
exactly.
control. You finally absolutely took control of that little bastard by the scruff of the neck and parented him. Thank you. Wow. 2 plays tonight, both in that last scene with Coas. First, thanks first.
Have an emotional safety bee.
Oh wow.
No.
Okay. Have
Squish.
have emotional safety. No, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. These are scary.
Back.
Wait a minute.
Safety.
Wait a minute. Wait. This is tonight. There. That's what we did tonight. It's a ghost now. You can chase it. So now you're good. So there we go. But honestly, thank you to every single one of you tonight. The Artemis and Delilah scene was so open and heartfelt and just real, and I believed every second of it. I could smell the grass you guys were sitting on. The scene was so good. So thank you for that. That was amazing. Sid's scene, that was quick, and you tried to throw me out of it about 3 times before you finally did. But that's okay. Thank you for that scene. It was a really cool moment. I've been wanting to share Sid's hauntedness with somebody. He's got to let that out. He's got to get somebody. He's got to believe. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to do that, and thank you for responding with the intensity level that everybody in this game is bringing. That was a really, truly spectacular scene, even though it was by far the shortest scene of the night.
It's so hard not to cry during this game.
Really?
Like,
Fucking
holy
cry.
shit, bud.
We've all
I
cried.
teared up.
We
I
all
legit
cried.
teared
Not
up
just in this
during
game, but on
mine.
Third
Couple of
20 Gaming.
times.
Go watch D20G. I cried when it was on the channel before this on Mercs of Mischief. I cried then too. I don't give a shit. If it's good enough to make me weep, I will fucking weep in front of the camera. I don't care. But thank you. Thank you for getting that intense, because even having to fight it off tells me that you are utterly committed. You're all utterly committed to this game, and you are in the scenes. You're not watching them. Before I forget, Coas, that from Kevin to Phil, that was fun. Having Stefano and um, Thomas both beating up on you, Coas being the 3rd smartest guy in the room, and you played it so well. You gave me the places that I needed to hook into you. You gave me all the places to beat you up with. So thank you. And then the end was chef's kiss. And by the way, yeah, the 2 of you have had your fun. Are you done now? Good. Have a bath. So yeah, absolutely stunning all round. There is a reason why we are getting over 100 views on multiple episodes of this show, and we just showed why. That was acting, that was role play. Yes, there was a game involved. We played a couple cards, some things succeeded, but what that really was 5, I can count, 5 people sitting down and inviting whoever wants to come and watch them have fun and open their souls and be vulnerable, knowing that they're in a safe place. That's how you get this level of role play. This shit doesn't happen at a convention with people you just met. This shit doesn't happen with people you've been playing with for months. This happens with people you've been playing with for years. This is a deep trust that you build up between players and friends. And that's the only way this level of roleplay can work. This is a level of roleplay that some people on various social medias don't like. They're afraid of it. It's not roleplay. Let's go kill some monsters. Okay, that's all right. But for the people that do, for the 100+ people that watch these episodes now, thank you for watching them. And thank you for letting us know that this is what you want to watch. This is what you want to see. Real deep emotional play, acting. It's intense. We talk about it. You see it, you don't see it, but behind the scenes and in our Discord, and even if you're in our regular Discord, we have a cast chat where we vent and deflate after the shows. And it is very, very active. This show I can say it without sounding too outrageous. It takes a toll on every single person in it. Doing this hard is exhausting. So thank you once again to Robin, to Bison, to Chris, and to Phil, and to chat. Thank you. To everybody watching the VOD, thank you. And to everybody watching on YouTube, holy crap, there's a ton of you. Thank you. And if I can ask a favor of all of those people, those 100+ people that are watching these episodes, if you could make Deku Lily not feel so lonely in the comments, I can tell you it's for the algorithm, but it really friggin' isn't. It's because I want somebody else to go in there and just type in the fact that they liked it too. So with that, that's enough begging from me. The only thing left to do is the important bit. We absolutely, and it had nothing to do with me. These guys took us to the story tonight, to the punchline, which is the same every week. Until next time, in spite of everything that happens to you as a character, as a player, as a real world person, if you've got the spoons, please be nice to each other. Good night.
Bye.